That back, wanted to go over all the players that the Detroit Lions drafted and give my grades after analyzing everything in and out, not just sporadic right at the moment because you have everything running through you. You take the time to actually look at the prospects. So that's what I did here. I'm going to give you my final grade for the Detroit Lions 2023 NFL Draft, and I'm going to go through each prospect and give you my grade for those specific players. But before we get into today's video, if you're a Lions fan watching this and you're not subscribed, I say why not? Hit that subscribe button. Let's get to 36,000 subscribers. We're really close. Without further ado, let's get this thing going. We're going to go ahead and start with the very first draft pick for the Detroit Lions. That was Jahmyr Gibbs, trading out of 6 to 12 and getting the running back out of Alabama. I gave this one a B-. Now, it is not because of the player. It is where they've selected the player. My personal opinion is they probably could have got him a little bit later, but there was rumors flying around that he could have went at 15. Just not 100% confirmed. That is rumors. That's just still my personal preference. I had a late first round, early second round grade for him, but make no mistake about it, he's going to be a dynamic player for the Detroit Lions. He's going to be able to run the football and pass as well in receiving. He's not just a running back. He is a dual player that can play multiple positions there, and that's why we traded DeAndre Swift, because we didn't need him anymore. This guy is a burner as well, so you get him in the open field. It's going to be a massive, massive big-time play hitting there. We look at Jahmyr Gibbs' stats last year. Again, I kind of put receiving in here as well, but he had 151 attempts for 926 yards in the rush game. He had 444 receptions in the pass game and 10 touchdowns combined with both run and pass. So, this is something that's going to be good for our Detroit Lions to have that player out there making some big plays, not just in the run game, in the pass game. And it does help out because Jameson Williams is gone in the first 6 games. Folks, again, we are so close to getting to 36,000 subscribers. We're at 35,812. If you like Lions coverage off-season and in-season, subscribe to this channel. Let's get to 36,000. Let's go ahead and jump to Jack Campbell, linebacker at pick 18. Loved this pick by the Detroit Lions. You know how much I coveted Jack Campbell. I've talked about him relentlessly. I didn't think the Lions would do it at 18, take a linebacker, but they surprised me in a good way. I'm fine with taking him at 18 because I know what he brings to the Detroit Lions. I give this an A grade. A grade. Because this guy is a linebacker that can do it all for the Detroit Lions defense. 125 total tackles, 5.5 for total tackles for loss, 62 assisted, 2 interceptions. And not only is it a player that's damn good, but it fills a massive need. So it's a win-win for our Detroit Lions. And I love Jack Campbell. He is exactly a Dan Campbell type of guy. And just like Dan Campbell said he loved his last name. That's just the fun part right there, folks. But this guy was an absolute stud for our Detroit Lions. And I am so happy the Lions got him. But we continue on here with pick 34 in round 2. And the Detroit Lions got Sam LaPorta, the tight end, out of Iowa. This is my lowest graded selection here at a C+. I didn't think that the Lions needed to get a tight end this early in the draft. And I just thought it was a little pushing it there. Now, when you look what he brings to the Detroit Lions, he had 58 receptions for 657 yards, an average of 11.3, and 1 touchdown. It was on a terrible offense in Iowa. They were absolute butt cheeks. That was not his fault. He could be much better with the Detroit Lions. Absolutely could be. And he could be a player that Jared Goff this year gives the football to on 3rd downs or on 4th downs, really trying to convert. So he is a player the Lions can utilize in the pass game. We just don't use tight ends that much. So hopefully they give this guy a ton of playing time and receptions because you gotta have this guy in this offense to justify this selection. You do. You absolutely do. And for me, it's just a little bit more. I probably would have went offensive line here or defensive tackle at this position. But again, I'm not going to like everything that Brad Holmes does, but I do trust Brad Holmes. In Holmes, I trust. So it's just going to be one of those deals where, I'm not a big fan of the tight end, but that's okay. That's 100% okay. And I think that that's fine for him to take one this early. Let me know, what grade do you give the Lions taking Sam LaPorta? A, B, C, D, or F? Let me know in the comments below. Folks, make sure you go ahead and follow me on Twitter at Mike Kimber. You can find me at MikeOrMike85. I'm on there putting latest information regarding our Detroit Lions. Easy find to get me on Twitter. So hit me up. We'll get at it. Have a good time. Follow me. Let's build that platform up. Let's go ahead and continue on here for the Detroit Lions. In round 2, they get the steal of the draft, and that is Brian Branch. I give this an A+ grade. This guy is supposed to be a first-round pick, maybe in around 10 to the 20 area. He falls all the way to the Detroit Lions with their second-round pick, becoming a great player for this draft and the Detroit Lions. You look what he did last year, folks. This guy was a stud and a G here. He had 90 total tackles with 14 tackles for loss, 32 assisted. This guy was getting it done here with 2 interceptions. He is a hard-hitting safety. He can play nickel. This is what you called BPA. This is best player available for the Detroit Lions here. Best player available. This is what happens when you just follow the board, and that worked out great for the Detroit Lions at pick 45. Then they continue on here in round 3, getting quarterback Hendon Hooker here out of Tennessee. Love this draft selection. I give this an A grade. You're getting a guy who's supposed to, I had a second-round grade on him. In round 3, there was rumors he could have gone in round 1, starting at pick 23 to the Minnesota Vikings. So you're getting a great talent, a second-round talent. If he wasn't injured, he definitely would be a first-round pick in round 3. And we needed that backup quarterback and potentially the future behind Jared Goff here. He had 229 completions at a completion percentage of 69.6, 3,135 yards with 27 touchdowns to 2 interceptions. He's extremely accurate quarterback. He knows how to distribute the football. He's going to be a great guy to be a backup and potentially take over if Jared Goff starts to mess up or he doesn't have a great season in 2023. This is potentially your future quarterback, and if the Lions don't want to pay Jared Goff a big contract, if he demands it, guess what? You don't have to worry about it. Insert Hendon Hooker, and you are good to go. He's a mobile quarterback. He can get it done with his legs. He can distribute the football, and that's a damn good thing for our Detroit Lions. It absolutely, fundamentally is great for the Lions to get this guy, and I'm happy about it. I am absolutely happy about it. And the next pick, the Detroit Lions in round 3, pick 96, they get Brodric Martin out of Western Kentucky. This was more of a head-scratcher pick here by many people. He's more probably a 5th or 6th round grade. Lions get him in round 3. He's a run-stuffing defensive tackle, big at 330, 30 total tackles for loss 1.5, and assisted of 16. So he'll be a rotational guy, probably in for our good old Lee McNeil, and help stop the run. I'm going to give this a C+ grade. I didn't think it was the best pick in the world. Maybe a B-, C+, something around there. I think you could have waited a little bit, and we potentially could have got a defensive tackle. I'd like to gone a little bit earlier, maybe switched it out with the LaPorta pick right there. But he's a guy the Detroit Lions can get and bring and help this team out. For sure, he can. I mean, we do need help at defensive tackle, but I thought we could wait a little bit more. The Lions, in round 5, 152, decide to go offensive lineman Colby Sorsdal. I give this a B-plus grade. I think he could be a future right tackle for sure. He could be a backup right guard right now. And if there's injuries like we've seen, I think he could fill in. I don't believe he's a starter at all this year. At least for a tackle position. I think he can slowly develop into the backup role this year, and maybe if he gets good, you can make him a right tackle. That is a position I think the Lions could eventually go to. But, again, I give it a B-plus grade. I'd like to probably go offensive line a little bit earlier, but that's fine, honestly. I think you could have waited till the 5th round, and that's exactly where you got Sorsdal. He is a good old corn-eating player that we got right there. So hopefully he can develop and be a strong piece for the Detroit Lions. And in the 7th round, the Detroit Lions decided to go acquire a wide receiver here, Antoine Green. I give this an A grade. I had probably a 6th-round grade on him. You're getting him in the 7th round. He can develop. What I like about him, he's big body at 6'2". He's fast. A 4.47 40, so you're getting a big body wide receiver with speed, contested catches, and we didn't need a guy earlier than this. Let's be honest here, we didn't, so he can develop. You got a good wide receiver core right now. You can use Jahmyr Gibbs as a wide receiver as well, so let this guy develop, and you can do situational in this year. So he could play this year in situational downs. That's 100%. You look what he did last year, pretty damn good. 43 receptions, 798 yards, 18.6 average, and 7 touchdowns. Again, situational red zone, wide receiver that can help the Lions out in a big way. I like this pick. I thought this would be the perfect time to get the bigger wide receiver, and they did, and he's got speed. So he's not just a big body. He can be fast, and that's damn good for the Detroit Lions. So overall, when I look and I put all these guys together, I'm going to give the Detroit Lions a B-plus draft grade. I like it. A couple question marks. Other than that, I like what they did. We got playmakers. We got players. Clearly, they believe the Detroit Lions can win the NFC North, and that's why they got a Jahmyr Gibbs in there, and that's why they got a Jack Campbell. You know, you're may have been a little bit of an overdraft, but they want to get their players. They want to get the guys because they feel they can win the NFC North this year. Give me your full grade, folks, in the comment section of this year's draft. A, B, C, D, or F. Let me know. We got videos dropping every single day on this channel. Lions Nation Unite. Hit that notification bell. Live streams every Thursday at 4 p.m. It's going to be a fantastic time, as you know. With that said, folks, adios.